guys, what is up? This is Matt. Today is me. Once again, welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time is going to be on Barbarian. Now, Barbarian is a new horror film that stars Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin Long. In this film, we follow a woman by the name of Tess who is visiting a rental home, only she finds out that another guy is already renting it, and it comes out of absolutely nowhere. So she is forced to stay there. Well, not really forced, she had the option to stay there while the other guy's there. And having a roommate isn't the only thing that she has to worry about, as other situations go on in the house, and it's not really a haunted house type movie. It's far more different, as we see another character later down the line, and there's like 3 different arcs to this entire story, which I'm not going to fully spoil, but you're just going to have to watch the movie for yourself. Now, I knew absolutely nothing about this movie. I did not see a trailer. Despite me seeing numerous amounts of horror movies this year, I did not see a single trailer to this. I did read what the movie was about, and to fully get an idea of what exactly to expect from the movie, but my expectations, like, this movie was nothing like what I predicted. I went in with very low expectations, and getting out of this movie, it made me happy that I didn't watch the trailers to this, because it just made the movie absolutely better. This movie was awesome. Like, I had such a great time with this movie. It is a bonkers movie, at least till the very last act, but it's a very slow moving movie, but it had me thinking about what was entirely going to happen with what's going on in this house. And I know I'm a bit stuffy right now, but yeah. One thing that is in the movie is that the neighborhood is like almost non-existent. Like, all the houses have been abandoned. Like, that the neighborhood is just like, yeah, I think it was just due to, like, something happens much later on in this movie that just comes out of absolutely nowhere, and I absolutely loved it. And when it switches to different perspectives, it just leaves you guessing, and it just has you, like, a bit confused, but it makes a lot more sense once the movie goes further on. And this isn't the type of movie that just goes completely for the scares. It has that build up, and it has that tension too. And the movie also has a good amount of humor once in a while, specifically from Justin Long. Justin Long is pretty damn funny in this movie, and his humor doesn't completely ruin the movie. Like, it still manages to keep that dark tone with its I don't know how to put it, but its atmosphere, because the movie does feel a bit atmospheric, because it's not really the house that's, like I said, this isn't a haunted house movie, and I wouldn't really call this a slasher movie either. I'm not sure what to describe it, because there is something in this movie that I was not expecting at all. Like, this movie is just completely unpredictable. It is very chilling, and I absolutely loved it. And I probably would say that I like the first 2 acts of this a bit more than the third act, because the third act kind of, I'm not really sure if this is a spoiler, but it's like set back in like years before the events of the current time in this movie, but it doesn't really say. I guess they did that on purpose, and while there are a couple of cheap jump scares, there isn't enough to ruin the overall tension, because the movie doesn't always rely on jump scares. There are those mildly false jump scares, but it didn't do anything to ruin this experience. Like, this movie has a good amount of originality and smarts behind it. I thought the direction and the way the movie was shot was absolutely outstanding, and the movie doesn't fully rely on gore like the rating suggests. Like, it isn't as gory as some other horror films that came out. It's not nearly as gory as something like Studio 666 or X or Pearl. I know Pearl's going to be very gory, but that's completely okay, because you don't always need gore. Like, it doesn't just shove gore in your face for, that's like, here's some gore, are you entertained? Like, it doesn't do that. It just keeps the gore very minimal, and that's honestly something that I really appreciated a lot about this movie. There's a lot I appreciate about this movie, and the final act is easily the build-up that I was hoping we would get. Well, I didn't predict what would happen, and I'm not saying that. I'm just like, I was really satisfied with how the whole thing played out, because it was ridiculous. It was, well, it's not like laughably bad ridiculous. It's that so entertainingly good ridiculous, because this movie can just get, it really got under my skin, and it's by far one of the most engaging horror movie experiences I've had this year. And in the end, guys, Barbarian is the horror movie that came out of absolutely nowhere. It's not going to be on everybody's radar for sure, but from what I've seen, I think it's absolutely worth a trip. If it's playing at a theater near you, grab yourself a bucket of popcorn, and yeah, there was a lot of audience reactions, and they were like really, really creeped out. And it's definitely going to deliver on the scare factor, and it doesn't fully just shove like a bunch of horror cliches in your face like The Invitation pretty much did. You actually do feel the tension and the buildup, and I think it's definitely worth it. I know a lot of people around the comments are probably going to say, are you going to watch the new Pinocchio live action movie? I did, though if I was to review it, it probably wouldn't be till much later. So, yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.